Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everybody. To all the esteemed dignitaries, our chief guest and resource person of the day, Padma Shri Awardee Guru Vidushi Shovana Narayanji, Dr. Sushma Chawla, Anuradha Sondiji, Kunda Mahurkarji, the whole SPIC MACAY team, our worthy principal madam, Professor Dr. Atima Sharma Dwivedi, faculty members, students, and our vibrant participants. With great joy and immense pleasure, I, Kamakshi Sharma, along with Yukta Meyer, welcome you all to the Kathak recital and interactive session with Honorable Guru Shomna Narayanji in a tribute to Pandit Rajan Mishraji, which is a collaborative venture of SPIC MACAY and KMP.
The Society for the Promotion of Indian Classical Music and Culture Amongst Youth, SPIC MACAY, is a voluntary youth movement which promotes intangible aspects of Indian cultural heritage by promoting Indian classical music, classical dance, folk music, yoga, meditation, crafts, and other aspects of Indian culture. It is a movement with chapters in over 300 towns all over the world.
Kanya Mahavidyalaya, a heritage and autonomous institution, is a globally acclaimed, prestigious name and a pioneer of women education. KMV has been awarded star status by DBT, status of college with potential for excellence, and DDU Kaushal Kendra by UGC MHRD Government of India. The college has been ranked year after year by India Today magazine amongst top colleges. Over a span of 136 glorious years, KMV has contributed colossally to women empowerment, education, emancipation, and employability. When the foundation of the college was laid in 1886 by Lala Dev Raji, he ensured to make performing arts an unbreakable part of the curriculum, and the department has been excelling since then. After 10 years of its inception, Saraswati Vandana at Harivallabh Sangeet Sammelan by the music department of KMV became a ritual ever since then. Many renowned national and international artists such as Pandit Vishnu Narayan Bhatkhande, Pandit Vishnu Digambar Pulaskar, Pandit Rajan Mishraji, and others have been invited to the college in collaboration with SPIC MACAY, Sangeet Natak Academy, Harivallabh Sangeet Sammelan, and other reputed organizations of performing arts.
Kanya Mahavidyalaya is born with the Society for the Promotion of Indian Classical Music and Culture Amongst Youth. SPIC MACAY has been that of more than half a century, which imbibes the institution with a feeling of gratefulness for having the gracious presence of eminent personalities such as Vidushi Girija Devi ji, Vidushi Kishori Amonkar, Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia ji, Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma ji, Ustad Shahid Parvez, Pandit Ram Narayan, Pandit Rajan Sajan Mishra ji, Ronu Majumdar, Srimati Rani Khanam ji, Pandit Shankar Lal Mishra ji, and many other renowned national and international artists. And today, with utmost respect, we feel highly obliged to have with us Guru Shobna Narayan ji, and we eagerly await her to enlighten us with the treasure chest of knowledge she is here to share with us.
Light symbolizes brightness and prosperity. It removes the forces of darkness and gives us positivity. And it is a ritual of KMV to seek the blessings of divine before the onset of any auspicious occasion, and thus aligning our souls with the Almighty. Now we head towards the Jyoti Prajvalan.
sterling leadership of our dynamic and visionary Madam Principal, Professor Dr. Atama Sharma Dwivedi, KMV acts as a trailblazer and a beacon of light with its path-breaking initiatives. An alumna of Harvard University, she has a rich experience of 41 years as an academician and an administrator. She is an internationally acclaimed personality who, by dint of her vision, experience, expertise, and wisdom, stands tall among all. She has been awarded lavishly for her innovative initiatives and contribution to higher education. Ma'am, it is an honor to have you amongst us today. Now, I would request Madam Principal to address the audience with a few words.
Namaskar, esteemed Vidushi Shobana Narayanji. At the outset, I extend a very hearty and warm welcome to you on this virtual meeting. The fraternity of this heritage institution, Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Jalandhar, extends our deep admiration and adoration to you on the International Dance Day. Guru Shobna ji, your persona is an incarnation of grace and beauty of human existence, as I see it. A citadel of art and culture and spiritual expressions, expressed through your perfected form of dance. We are very, very honored to have you amidst us today. We also have a chief guest of this online event, another incredible personality, Dr. Sushma Chawla, as a chief guest. Thanks, Dr. Chawla, for being with us. I would like to apprise all present that Dr. Chawla is not only an iconic gynecologist, but also a passionate dancer. Her performances are big inspiration for everyone till today. We have amongst us also some outstanding, incredible people. Dr. Sushma Chopra. We have General Balwinder Singh with us, as I understand, though I cannot see him. We have Mr. Bali with us, and so many other outstanding citizens of Jalandhar, along with the faculty and the dynamic students of Kanya Mahavidyalaya. I extend a very warm welcome to all of you, and once again feel grateful to Shobna ji to give us this experience. I also welcome and express my word of thanks to Mrs. Anuradha Sondhi, the president of SPIC MACAY, who has facilitated this event for all of us. The team of SPIC MACAY, you are all doing the most valuable work, acting as a lighthouse in a society which needs more than ever to experience and appreciate art, aesthetics, our culture, and connect with what is rhythm and harmony in human life. I would, on that note, address our young students to develop an appreciation of finer aspects of life. It makes your education wholesome. When you develop balance, grace, patience, and depth of character through such experiences as we have today, with the most incredible, the epitome of such values, Guru Shobna Narayanji. Once again, we are grateful to Shobna ji, who has graced this event from Vienna, giving her valuable time for the experience that we are all going to have today. We wish to have you physically with us, Shobna ji, in better times for humanity. I see today's event as a form of prayer for the suffering humanity. Together, we pray for benedictions of the Almighty on humankind. Before we begin the event, our spirits soar together as prayer for relief to the suffering. And now, to take the program forward, I feel very proud of our students, Kamakshi and Yukta, who are conducting this whole show, who are the anchors with all their energy. So Shobna ji, thank you once again. And now back to the anchors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your enlightening words. We are humbled. And now we proceed towards the main highlight of the show and begin it with full fervor and zeal. And I would request for the introductory video of Shobnaji to be played.
Sheer poetry and sublime joy of transcending boundaries, an acknowledged and exquisite diamond of her own art style, intense and passionate, elegant yet vibrant, effortlessly spanning centuries of Kathak heritage as she does her dance space. An outstanding dancer, a consummate artist and choreographer. She is not only India's most celebrated Kathak guru and maestro of the present age, but has also become a living legend who has blazed her trail in Kathak. She is the one and only Padma Shri Guru Shobana Narayan.
She is a personification of elegance, sensitivity, and grace, and yet she is a storehouse of creativity, talent, and a pillar of inner strength and determination, all of which succeed in enduing her with a strangely brilliant luminosity. The last 4.5 decades of her professional career, since 1970, have seen her mesmerizing audiences in several national and international festivals in India as well as abroad. She is none other than the Padma Shri awardee Guru Vidushi Shovana Narayanji. In several prestigious national and international festivals, she has been conferred with numerous awards, outstanding among which are the Padma Shri Award for Excellence and Outstanding Contribution to Dance by the President of India in 1992, and yet again the Sangeet Natak Academy Award by the President of India for 1999 to 2000. Charting new paths, Guru Shovana Narayanji is perhaps the only example of a person who has relentlessly pursued two parallel exacting professional careers, achieving distinction and great heights in both. Shovnaji was an acknowledged and reputed young Kathak dancer of the country when she entered the civil service, Indian Audits and Accounts Service 1976 batch, from where she retired. An outstanding officer enjoying high credibility and integrity. She served in challenging assignments, such as in the Ministry of Water Resources, Ministry of Finance, Rajya Sabha, BSNL, as the Assistant Returning Officer in presidential elections of 1992, as DG of ICISA in CAG of India, and as the Special Director General, Commonwealth Games 2010 Delhi, where she conceived, organized, and delivered the spectacular opening and closing ceremonies with thundering success. Guru Shovana Narayanji is a classical example of a true Kathak, multifaceted and dynamic, and presents a challenge to today's spectator. Her life, her works, her dignity, and demeanor have made her a role model and peer for millions of girls of the younger generation of today. And today we are humbled, honored, and fortunate to have her amongst us. Now, I would like to invite Guru Shovana Narayanji to enlighten us with the treasure chest of knowledge she is here to share with us. Guru Shovanaji.
Namaskar. It's wonderful to be here with everyone. And as Atima ji just said, I'm in Vienna, but I think that is one of the advantages of the virtual medium that wherever we are connected. I would like to thank Dr. Atima ji and all members of the Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Jalandhar, for and SPIC MACAY, because SPIC MACAY, without them, they have acted as the bridge. I would not have been here. And to all the guests over here, the esteemed guests, my namaskars, and to all the students, my namaskars. It's wonderful to be here sharing this platform and on a very important day, Dance Day, the World Dance Day. Actually, for me, every day should be a World Dance Day. I think the tone was set by Dr. Atma Ji when she said that we have to imbibe a lot of we have to have performing arts or appreciation of performing arts. And then let me also probably, even in all my discourses, I've always said that if we really look at our Indian philosophy, we always find the kind of the great importance that has been given to performing arts, not only music, but even dance. If I had to ask anyone, how would you remember Lord Krishna? Everybody would immediately show me the flute. Immediately. Hardly anybody will remember him as the Dwarkadhish Krishna. Tell me how many of you do remember him as the Dwarkadhish Krishna? It's always the artist Krishna. It is the dancer Krishna. It is the artist Krishna. And of course, Lord Shiva in his various swarups, but Natraj. Natraj is there in almost every household. His icon is there, imagery is there. So we see, and you are, you started off with a beautiful Vandana. You are in an institution of learning where the goddess of learning is Saraswati. And the and what does she represent? She does not have books in her hand. We've all studied with books in our hands, but she has the veena in her hands. So again, when we are talking about performing arts, it's just there is rhythm and tal and lay in everything, music in everything in life. At the moment, things in the world are going betala because we're having the coronavirus. And so there's Besurapan going around. Things are out of sync and everything in more ways than one. These are just metaphors for, again, what we are experiencing in our lives. And now, if there is harmony, if we even look at look at the contrast, we have to even talk about harmonization within the self because dance is a perfect yoga. We consider it a yoga. It goes through the 8 stages of yoga. The yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dhyan, dhyana, samadhi. And so, which means it brings about a balance between the mental, the physical, and the spiritual. So if you're at harmony within yourself, where there's an inner balance within yourself, you will always be in harmony with the surroundings. And at the moment, somewhere, somehow, we have to again try and awaken that awareness of sensitivity. And that is what performing arts does. It awakens the sensitivity, the humanity, the concern within. In, uh, so with these, and that is why I feel that the importance of performing arts had always been exhorted in our Indian philosophy. And one can understand why. World Dance Day is again a reminder to us. It is a reminder that not dance and music, etc., is not mere entertainment. It serves a much deeper and wider. It has a wider role, deeper perspective. It brings about a balance. Today, for example, in these trying times, what is it one would like to hear and see? Not only rather different images, which fills you with a little pain and sorrow, but also for your own balance and peace of mind, you turn towards your inner self. There's an inner journey. And that inner journey is the journey of knowing yourself, of bringing about that harmony within you. And there you have to find music in your life. That music within you, the lay and tal within you. There is one external factor, and that is why we've always had three genres of very different kind of a classical music and dance, as well as the popular music and dance and the other forms. So Each one has its own role and place in our lives. The question is, how do we find that balance to keep everything in their proper perspective? Because each one plays an important role, every aspect of our lives. Life is interconnected with, and there's always change happening. What even our classical world of art says is that life is always changing. Even we, even our Manu, we always talk about Manu's precepts. And Manu, we always quote a couple of phrases from Manu, but we forget some of the finer prints. And in those finer prints, there's a verse where it says that not dharma in the form of religion, but dharma in the form of duty. And says when things are you find, then it is your dharma to change, because changes will happen. Change is the only constant. And you have to abrogate those rules and rituals and methodologies and way of thinking and modify it, and and move forward. So that is what is, even our Manu precepts talks about, the constant change and we flowing with times. But where the bone, the backbone of humanity, sensitivity, concern, of honesty, of values, of ethics remains unchanged. So there's always that, the backbone which is there, but the exterior factors keep on changing. And another thing is that, as far as uh, uh, beauty about the classical music and dance, which I find, which is my personal opinion, is that it is so interdisciplinary. If I had to ask the anybody that look at the kind of the world of mathematics we're dealing with, I mean, in any Torah Tukra, there's a world of mathematics in it. And in any expressions, or even when you're on stage and the lights, there's the world of physics in it. Even if I'm taking a pirouette, there's the world of physics. The laws of physics are evident in it, because all, whether it's the velocity, whether it's the momentum, whether it's the torque, whether it is, so many different aspects. So so in life, everything is interconnected. No subject is complete by itself, because you have to understand another subject, because they're all so interrelated. So that is another aspect that I wanted to share, that we have to appreciate the interconnectedness, appreciate interrelatedness, and we have to appreciate diversity, diverse thoughts, diverse opinions. But I can have one. That is what we do call bhavpatana. Ek shabd hai. In that ek shabd, I can bring out different meanings, because the tone quality changes. How the punctuation changes and changes the meaning. So we have to understand the diversity of delineation, diversity of thoughts in those delineation, and that is which comes very sort of visibly through, particularly in the field of bhavbatana, which we do in Kathak, which of course it's not many people are doing it, because the auditoriums are large. And talking about auditorium and others, did I would request people to look into the Natya Shastra. And if you see your chapter 2s and 3s, the kind of detailed uh, theater architecture is discussed, sounds, acoustics, lighting, every aspect is discussed. It's amazing. And Natya Shastra was written not yesterday, it was written far back, more than 2000 years ago. So we've always, and along with the measurements, incidentally, all along, even the formal theater architecture that you see today was given out in detail in our Natya Shastra, along with measurements, to more than 2000 years ago. So much is the depth of our knowledge, and we have to be. Classical art, what it tells you is to be like a tree with firm roots, very, very firm roots, so that the plant which finally becomes a tree is a strong one, which is able to withstand all weathers and yet take from everything, appreciate all changing seasons, and bear flowers and fruits and become a giving tree. So a tree which is a giving tree is also practices humility. It is always bent. And I think those are the things which the essence of all philosophies in the world, all philosophies talk about. And it is in different ways it is said, but that is what World Dance Day is saying about the similarities in all philosophies. And we're talking of similarity. When I started with Krishna and his Basari, we know that in our Indian bhakti literature, we have so many verses talking about that. When you hear the sound of the bansuri, is you aap apna tan man sudbut kho baithte hain, because you become completely lost and immersed in that joy of pure love for the Almighty, because it is always the Atma seeking union with the Paramatma. And that's exactly what Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi has written. Says Vishnu asne chu hiqayat mi kunad, as judai ho shiqayat mi kunad. See now, says, listen to the plaintive sounds of the flute, the notes of the flute, wailing the pangs of separation. Because, in our Indian philosophy, we, as people, we are the Atma, and we are wanting our union with the Paramatma. And so everywhere, why do we go here? Why do we go to different places of worship? That is to find that space, sense of peace, because at that point of time you want to be connected with the higher being, and therefore within we're connected with the Paramatma within you. And so it says, listen to and that is exactly what Rumi has said. Listen to the plaintive notes of the flute, wailing the pangs of separation. And it says, just as the body of the flute is pierced, so is my heart pierced with this desire to be one with you. I'm seeking you. It says, हर करा जामा से इश्क की चाक शुद ऊ जहर सो जुमला ए भी पाक शुद शादबाश इश्क खुश सौदाइमा e tabibe jumla illathaima. Says the way we remove our body of this clothing and cleanse ourselves, we even the sound of the flute cleanses me, my inner self, of my impurities when I'm at one with you. In other words, that's exactly what all philosophies of the world do, of all cultures of the world. It is up to us to understand it, to understand the depth of it, to understand similarities and dissimilarities. Even in the world of, say, Western classical dance and Kathak and flamenco, look at the kind of similarities. We only see the dissimilarities, but look at the similarities. The same 7 notes, 12, along with the quarter notes and the half semitones, the 12 or 30 notes, we find how beautifully it is. It creates a different musical system of the West, different musical system of the Far East, and a different musical system of our country, the Ragdari system of our country. And also, when we look at that lay and tal, do hai, teen hai, panch hai, char hai, it's there everywhere. You see, even in our movements, if as a Kathak, I am doing this movement, a ballet would do also this movement, but it has a different approach and attitude. A flamenco would do this movement, again with a different approach. So how is it? It changes. That is what I said about Bhavatana, that diversity of delineation. The same movement, how beautifully it is delineated in different styles because of its own emphasis, and it changes it. So I think with these words, I would like to say that the World Dance Day exhorts us to look within us, to look for that sense of harmony within us, so that we are able to be in harmony with the environment around. We are able to understand the basic values of human values of sensitivity, concern, ethics, and morals, and which are the constant factors, but the externals keep changing. And that's a beautiful thing. And each one, when in India, when we are performing through our stories, we are exhorting these through those legends, mythological tales, those values are being brought aside, brought to the fore, and but it is up to us to understand its inner meaning. So the journey, we have to take this journey ourselves. We can only guide, we can everything, but finally the journey, how we undertake the journey, lies within us, and that is the our own responsibility to being uh, to being born in this world and to being part of not only a particular place, but also being a citizen of India and the global citizen, to be able to understand and appreciate each and every one, irrespective of differences within regions and regions, and within styles and styles, even within, because all our classical dance forms, all the 8 classical dance forms that we have in India are actually similar. It is only how we utilize the body, waist downwards, that makes the difference. But otherwise, we are using the same hand gestures, the same emotions. वही है emotion है, प्यार का वही है. अगर मैं आपको ऐसे देखूंगी तो आप समझ जाएंगी कि मैं गुस्से में देख रही हूँ. अगर मैं अरे so you say, अरे what has surprised her, it's a, so those are universal emotions, and that is those universal emotions, universal language of gestures and emotions are there throughout, and it's for us to understand it and appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful words. Beautiful. And this transported us towards, the real essence of existence. Thank you so much, Shobnaji. I'm sure that the students gain gain a lot from this discourse. And, I personally feel what you rightly said, that this is amazing, that how in these times, especially the young people, they need to get connected with concepts. They need to get connected with that underlying whole harmony and rhythm that is going to ultimately create the kind of world that we all wish that we can. Thank you so much for this
Trial.
Dr. Chavla, do you want to say something, please? Can you unmute yourself, Dr. Chavla?
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful way of telling what exactly the dance is, and it's the right day to really celebrate it. I think the dance is in everything. जो ये हवा है, जो ये पत्ते झूम रहे हैं, everything is dancing. The waves of sea. I think we have just to see around us that what the dance is. I think you have very nicely expressed it. I think the students will have many questions to ask you. Okay. So today, I just tell you how we celebrated our dance day, International Dance Day. When we got up in the morning, we were in the yoga. So we were a few doctors together and see how to celebrate the International Dance Day. So we just took one music and started doing ourselves anything. वो कहते हैं ना, आपकी उपज. What do you have in yourselves? You start doing it. So I think it is just fun. You have very rightly said, you are one with the God. I think it's beautifully done. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. We'll start with a video, ma'am, and then we'll continue after the session after this.
Yes, please.
Abhishek, can we have the performance? Thanks.
Trial.
Before I start, I would like to say that I'm extremely grateful to SPIC MACAY for giving me this opportunity of being with you all. And it's wonderful to hear the chairman talking about the kind of support that they have always given to the preservation of our traditional classical heritage. So without losing any more time, I will begin my performance. But before that, I'm just wondering whether to introduce Kathak before or later. But perhaps I'd like to mention a few things before I start. That in India, all of us, India is rich in our classical arts, and particularly the dance style that I do is Kathak, which is from northern central India. But when I said rich in classical performing arts, I think our Indian philosophy is rather unique because this is the only philosophy which has given so much of importance to classical performing arts. Behind me is Nataraj as well as Lord Krishna, and both of them, as well as Devi, and all of them have danced, and they are known as great dancers. You always associate Krishna with his flute, and Lord Shiva as Nataraj with his dambru. Both of them dance to the sound of the mridang. So we've always had a lot of emphasis in Indian philosophy traditionally on only remember him as a Dwarkadhish Krishna on rare occasions, but otherwise it is Krishna with the flute who is always there, absolutely, whose imagery comes to our mind just like that. So here is the So therein lies the importance, and perhaps there is a deeper meaning, deeper philosophy to it, which I will leave to all of you to unravel. Coming to Kathak. Kathak is 2,500 years old, and it was born in the temples of northern central India. In fact, till today, it is still a living temple tradition dance because what you see is the stage part of it. But even today, in the temples of Uttar Pradesh, you will still find the traditional temple Kathaks, from whom we did get our name. Because this was the Kathak community that performed, that narrated stories about our gods and their leelas, and through that values were communicated, and this was done through the medium of dance, of gesticulation and mime. In fact, the Kathak community is the only community of dancers who have been mentioned in the Mahabharata, and for which there is also an inscription of the pre-Christian era, that means of the Maurya period. The Adi Parva of Mahabharata says, and as far as the 3rd, 4th century BC epigraph is concerned, which is in Prakrit, and it says, Gangai Mahanadiye Tate Satvo Karaka Bingarnatena Suditi Sikaya Ehi Raya Adinaho Bhavena Pasina. So here we have a long history of Kathak. It has gone through a lot of ups and downs through different vicissitudes of time, but today it's still there. It is a living tradition of dance, classical dance. And in that, I would like to mention that the basic movement of Kathak, this is the basic movement of Kathak, this comes from the yoga position. The Dhyana Mudra of Kathak is the basic mudra of Kathak. And similarly, this is another position which is unique to Kathak. And it just means that I, as the Kathak, I am the medium between the Leelas of God and the gathered congregation. and from when we get this movement. So here we have, I just wanted to mention these two, and the Natya Shastra and the Abhinay Darpan. All aspects are visible in our Kathak performance. And what is it? Kathak is a Sanskrit name. It has extremely Sanskrit tradition and tradition. And with that, I would like to introduce my artists of this today. No dance is complete without the supporting artists. On the tabla is Shakir Ahmed Khan. On vocal accompaniment, who's also music composer, is Madhav Prasad. On the pakhavaj is Mahavir Gangani. And on the violin is Azhar Shakir. So for no further ado, let's start. And we'll start with, we're talking about SPIC MACAY's goal, development and preservation at the same time. So I'll start with a prayer to Lord Vishnu.
Sarve
because we wake up before dancing. We do the dancing of ourselves, which is again a practice of pranayama. And then after we go into the Abhinay sequences, which I shall be doing. So here.
Try. trial.
Hello, I'm so sorry. Just I think some technical glitch is there. Some back audio is coming. So just give me a few seconds. I'll play it again.
So I may ask Dr. Ravi to start. Can you?
No, it will take only 5 seconds to.
Okay, fine.
To play it again.
Technical team, could the sound and the video image be synchronized? Because at the moment it's out of sync.
Mr. Abhishek. Ma'am,
yes, sir. Just a second.
Yeah.
I think now we'll be able to do it.
Great performance.
Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva. Both of them danced to the sound of the mridang, which we call Kavachuri, traditionally the mridang. One had the dabru in his hand, the other the flute. One is called Hari, the other one is Hari. So here's the Hari Kavach. Lord Krishna, let's remember him also at the Gwadar show. And in that, and in the Mahabharata, I talked about the Kathak we mentioned in the Mahabharata. So let's see the Mahabharata. We are in the Mahabharata. What is the role of Krishna? In the battle, he was the Sarathi. And the Sarathi was driving horse chariot. Here's the sound of the feet. As you say, feet after 12 streets also.
The footwork also speaks.
There's another thing. No, it isn't. Very popular piece. But I like to do it. In the Nritya Bhavan, this piece is. This is a familiar piece. If some of you are also learning Kathak, you know. Now here, I am doing it as the Nritya Angu. how and in which the imagery is that of Arjuna. Because I just talked about the Mahabharata. Arjuna. And what does he have in his hands? If Krishna was the Sarathi, here's Arjuna, the warrior with the bow. So here it is, in the power.
Rhythmic patterns create a mood.
हिरण की है, शेर की है, मनुष्य की one or two, but if I use my hands, you will do it. I will start without using my hand, and thereafter, halfway through, I'll start using my husband. So, I leave it to you to guess, and later on when we have the question and answer session, tell me which one it is.
The child speaks about what animal or what kind of a person it is. नजरों की बात
हम घूंघट ले सकते हैं एक नजर तो क्या और नजर कितनी तो मैं 5 प्रकार से घूंघट लूंगी और 5 प्रकार की नजर साधारण शर्माई विनती करने वाली पूछने वाली और आखिर में आप ही बता
That was a naughty one.
एक इसके बाद गत भाव. See how we're progressing in the different phases of Gagan Abhinay. This was one another aspect of Abhinay. Even our rhythmic pattern had a lot of Abhinay in it. In terms of the Anga was also speaking, there's also bhav in it. But here, even our chal was speaking, and now I come to Gat Bhav. The Gati is there, the chal is there. The rhythm goes on, and I'll tell a whole story, but without the use of literal text words. So that is latent. So when we have our four codifications of the Abhinay, Angika, that is through body, Vachika, which is latent, but it is there, Aharya, which is means, of course, ornamentation and decoration, as well as Satvika. Everything is meaningless without the part of it, the emotional part of it, the rasa part of it, the feeling, the experience. And so, here is a piece I'll do. Let me ask my musicians, which one should I do? Konsa? Aap bataiye. ठीक है? Drop it. Yes, see, why don't you do from the Mahabharata? Draupadi. So this is Draupadi Chilharan from the Mahabharata. So it is without text. It's only the dance will portray the entire story of the Pandavas. And as you'll see, the entire nichod of Natya Shastra is there, visible in it.
Duryodhan. The Sabha of dice. The 5 Pandavas have come. That's Duryodhan, the cunningness in his eyes. Put your wife at stake now. You've lost everything, now put your wife at stake. The Pandavas have lost everything. Call Draupadi into the Sabha.
थैंक यू। एक टेक्स्ट के साथ कर लेते हैं। एक ठुमरी। जब कल ही शाम को बात हो रही थी ठुमरी के ऊपर, I was on some webinar and they were talking about ठुमरी और पूछ रहे थे उसमें भक्ति है या श्रृंगार है। तो भक्ति में भी श्रृंगार है। तो भक्ति में भी श्रृंगार है। एक तो श्रृंगारिक रूप एक बहुत ही इस लेवल का है, लेकिन भक्ति वाला श्रृंगार और ठुमरी में भक्ति वाला श्रृंगार है। तो मैं जो करने वाली, और ठुमरी किसके पास है? उसमें कृष्ण राधा गोपी, क्योंकि कृष्ण परमात्मा है, आप और हम सब राधा हैं, गोपी हैं, आत्मा है। हम लोग हमेशा चाह रहे हैं उनसे मिलने, उनके साथ हमारी मिलन। तो ठुमरी की यही अंडरलाइन भावना है। और कौन सा ठुमरी? कौन सी वाली? छाड़ो लगा। हाँ, ओके। हाँ, क्योंकि आपको छेड़छाड़ी अच्छी लगेगी, है ना? आप लोग बाद में बता दीजिएगा ठीक लगा कि नहीं, क्योंकि यही आप लोगों की उम्र है छेड़छाड़ की। बाद में तो बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाएंगी। तो और क्योंकि जीवन के अलग अलग रस होते हैं, अलग अलग पहलू होते हैं। वो एक एडोलेसेंट का अलग होता है, एक वृद्ध अवस्था की अलग होती है, वहाँ भी छेड़छाड़ होती है। लेकिन वो वृद्ध अवस्था की छेड़छाड़ है, वो एक अपने पोते पोतियों के साथ, बच्चों के साथ, वो छेड़छाड़ कि वो हमारी पोती या पोता हमारे से छेड़छाड़ कर हम जाते हैं, उसके साथ ही हम बच्चे बन जाते हैं। हम भी उनको, जिसको हम चीज कहते हैं, चीज करते हैं। तो ये हमारी छेड़छाड़ है।
We do छेड़छाड़ every day in life.
आत्मा परमात्मा, वो आत्मा परमात्मा, आत्मा यानी राधा जा रही है उस मिलन के लिए कि वो दिख जाए। बनघट पे जाती है, पानी निकाल रही है, लेकिन वो तो आते ही नहीं। और जब वो आते हैं तो छत जोड़ के कहते हैं, छाड़ो लंगर मूरी बेना, और छाड़ो लंगर मूरी बेना, और उनको अच्छा भी लग रहा है कि वो मिलन हो गया, ईश्वर से मिलन हो गया, परमात्मा से मिलन हो गया। लेकिन फिर भी अपना रूठना तो जताना ही है और उनसे मेक बिलीव टूटना और बाद में कहते कि अगर हम आप में मिल जाए तो हम तो खो बैठे, हम अपने आप को खो बैठते हैं। और यही होता है जब आत्मा परमात्मा के रंग में रंग जाता है तो हम तो खो ही बैठते हैं, हम उन्हीं के रंग में तो रंग जाते हैं और वही हमारा हमारी सफर है कि उनके रंग में हम मिल जाए, उनके रंग में हम खो जाए।
We finally have to go and meet him only. All about. आज भी जो हो रहा है वो भी वो छेड़ रहा है हम लोगों को। This is of a gully. This is also gully. Kajal, this is also gully. This is also Gali. The running veins are also Galis. So this is called Bhav Batana. That is what I was talking about. Different delineations and meaning to one word. बाल बना रहे हैं तो ये ऐसे उसमें भी तो गली 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 बनती है. We wear 400 ankle bells on together, 200 on each. Together they weigh about 4 kilos, 5 kilos. And the way we wear ghungroos, it is written in the Shastras, in the Abhinay Darpan, the way we Kathak. Otherwise, nobody else wears ghungru like this. It's only the way it is written in the Shastras. Out of these 400 ankle bells, we control the feet, the sound, that we get the sound of just one ankle bell. But I don't know whether it comes through in this. This is the dhyan part of yoga. You know, the 7th stage of yoga. I'll talk about that later.
Excellent, excellent.
You know, in yoga, when I remember when we were young, I was young. I mean, I remember the gurus of that time saying, "Beta, ये योग है. जब तुम ध्यान कर रही हो, जब तत्कार कर रही हो, तत्कार is that footwork, you know, एक लौ बनाओ, एक लौ बनाओ." So उसमें संगीत सुनाई पड़े. And that is what कि हम वो law. So वो ध्यान में अगर हम हो जाए, and that is that law, which is, so that is the 7th stage of yoga. And then finally the 8th stage is samadhi. There too.
Absolutely. That's so very beautiful. So very beautiful. So elevating. I haven't experienced something like this for so long. Thank you so much, Shobna ji. That was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure it inspires all of us to be as involved in our sadhana, whatever work that we are doing. It is our sadhana. And, you know, if we have, as you rightly said, if we have rhythm in that, if we have devotion in that, and we become one with God, you know, through our whatever work that we are doing, is the most elevating experience.
Yes.
We
have to find that music within ourselves.
That music within, absolutely.
At what age you started doing your dancing?
Well, I was initiated into the world of Kathak when I was barely 3 years old, 2.5, 3. My mother couldn't remember. But let me tell you, I don't come from a dancing family. My grandfather was a zamindar and a barrister, Nanaji. But he was also a freedom fighter. And, you know, those days. So he was also the member of parliament of 1923-24, when it was called the Central Assembly, when Indians were allowed to vote for the first time. So in our house, every child had to be schooled in all streams of arts, Vidya, Saraswati. So whether it is Sanskrit literature, whether it's Hindi literature, whether it is Padhai, Likhai, physics, mathematics, geography, but at the same time, music, dance, everything.
Inspired everybody. Everybody.
So it's we enjoyed every moment of it, and you rightly said that. You know, I think all as in the initially also we said that every human being needs to have that rhythm, you know, that tal, and so that makes a complete persona, and the beauty lies there. And we are all ready to, you know, take on to the God Almighty through our work. I mean, to become one with the God Almighty.
But I think today all those who are looking at it.
I would also like to point out to the youngsters that, you know, there are so many lessons to be learned from our mythology. Not everything in the past was, you know, hunky-dory. After all, Draupadi Cheer Haran happened. And it's still happening today. Look at the world around. You know, women, I mean, it is still happening. The question is, have we progressed as a civilization? In other real terms, we haven't. Somewhere that scratched the surface and it's a different person. So I think we have to understand even every mythological episode or other episode and take this it's a learning experience, that what is it we have to learn from, what not to do and what to follow and things like that. So, and today, even if I look at mythology, it's also, I can relate it to environment, because Draupadi is today's Prithvi, and that is what is happening. And we are the modern day Dushasan. Since we are the modern day Dushasan, we are removing the environmental cover of Prithvi, that Draupadi. And it's so beautiful when it says, Dushasan bas karo, to us. Dushasan bas karo, dharti ka cheer haran mat karo, phir dwapar ko dohraane ka dussahas mat karo. Dushasan bas karo, bas karo, bas karo.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am. Kamakshi, can we start with the second segment of the program? Are we running behind time? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. We are feeling very enlightened with the session. There are just no words for us to say how great we feel from the knowledge you have given to us. And now we will like to move ahead towards some questions we have for you. So the first question for you, Shobna ma'am, it is that although we have many gharanas for music vocal and even tabla in Punjab, but there is no school of Kathak or any Gharana for Indian classical dance. So what measures can be taken according to you to promote and propagate the art of classical dance in Punjab?
Well, I think, you know, it depends on people and individual. And in Punjab, you do have, M.L. Kausar used to be there, who set up his Prachin Kala Kendra to spread the knowledge of classical art, dance particularly, and that to Kathak. And so it's being carried on, the legacy is being carried on by his wife and daughter-in-law. So I think it depends on people. So if people get interested, I mean, others are there. We are going there anyway. If people who are artists who are in different, located in different parts. For us, हम तो कला के पुजारी हैं. हम तो कला के सेवक हैं. आप जहां भी बुलाएंगे हम पहुंच जाएंगे. वो गांव हो या महल हो, हमारे लिए सब बराबर है. वो हम वहां पहुंच जाते हैं. हम तो कला, क्योंकि हमारे लिए तो वो इष्ट देवता है, हमारी तो देवता साथ चलते हैं. तो फिर now it depends. So I think it depends on the people themselves. And you have people in Punjab who are making this effort. So and we are always there. Whenever they call us, we are there. Whenever I just see Mrs. Mahurkar and Namaskar, Mrs. Mahurkar, how are you? Whenever she invites me, like Astha ji has remembered me, I'm there with you.
Yeah, of course,
Atma ji is there, I'm there with you.
Yeah. I was just listening to each and everything, and so beautifully I got engrossed in your dance and the way you were explaining, actually.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Prachin Kala Kendra has made tremendous, very big contribution to people here in this region. I myself was a student there and learned dance in my young years up to the graduation level. So, you know, they have contributed a lot, you rightly said,
Exactly. Yes.
And many of my friends I know, they all went there, and so contributions are there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, there is Kanya Mahavidyalaya, and there is, you know, Hari Vallabh that is going on. Exactly. And there's so many other centers of excellence.
Yes, there are many centers. So it depends, you know. I mean, the patronage should come from the people themselves. Absolutely. That is the most lasting patronage, because it has to come from the people, not from the top. It comes from the people. And people in Punjab are doing it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Can we have the next question, please?
I'm very curious about your journey as it has been, and what was the role of your guru in initiating that?
See, first of all, my first guru was Sadhana Bose, the famous dancer actress in Calcutta. I was born in Calcutta, so there. And then when my father was transferred, so accordingly, I've got three gurus, different phases of my life according to where my father was posted. But once we came to Delhi, we stayed put over there. So Guru Birju Maharaj. Now, gurus can give you the knowledge, the skill, the technical expertise. They try to imbibe, to see that you also imbibe the ethos of the dance form. Now it depends on the crucible. If the crucible is willing to accept it or just allows it to spill, doesn't even take it because there's a little hole in it. No, if you're like a sponge, a crucible which collects, accepts और उस पर मनन करते हैं और उसको आगे बढ़ाते हैं. I always say that the role of a guru is to direct you, to give you the basic, and that I'm doing it with my own, as it is the 3-day festival is on. Yesterday, 8 of my girls danced, no, 12 of them, and each one of them were exuding a different fragrance of their own, the way they developed and have evolved, because everyone's identity is different. And that is what our ancient Shastras have said, that the guru gives you the skill, the knowledge, guides you on the right path, tries to give you the ethos, the spirit of the dance or the art form, whatever, or the whatever form of knowledge. But now the other part depends on you. How much you take it, how much you mull over it, what kind of a learning you derive from it, and you carry it forward. The important thing is not to be carbon copies, but to now evolve, keeping the values and the spirit and the ethos of the learning intact, and yet develop and evolve into a beautiful flowering plant. So the role of the guru is a lot, but so is the role of the disciple. Even there's a responsibility and accountability of the disciple. If there's an accountability and responsibility at the role of the guru, so is it of the disciple. The two go hand in hand. अगर आप दे रहे हैं और वो दूसरा तैयार ही नहीं है लेने के लिए, तो आप क्या करेंगे? आप क्या करेंगे? Then you just leave it. और मान लीजिए अगर उल्टा हुआ कि this disciple या student तैयार है लेने के लिए, अगर गुरु ही नहीं देता है तो वो भी ठीक नहीं है. So it is a very, very beautiful complementary relationship where both have a very huge responsibility towards each other.
Thank you for sharing such a beautiful lesson, ma'am. Yeah. And thank you for sharing your experience. Can we have the next question, please?
So, ma'am, how does pursuing a classical art form link with pursuing excellence in education and becoming humane? If you could speak to your personal experiences.
I think, see, now classical art form, now it depends on a person's own, what does the person's aim in life? If a person wants to earn quick money, quick fame, then of course classical art is not the thing. It is not overnight generation that today you started and you did 1, 2, 3, you did a few movements and you suddenly became a star with money rolling it. No. Classical art requires patience, requires dedication, requires sadhana. But this is an art which stays with you, gives you inner peace. आप वो माया की दुनिया में फिर आप भागते नहीं हैं. You're not lost, and then where you lose your own self. Finally, जब हमें जाना है, everybody is looking for inner peace. And we are not looking, we leave behind everything. We are only, what remains behind is what kind of a person and contribution you make. And so now, but as a profession, classical arts can give you everything. Look at the classical art while being, steeped in your philosophy, in your cultural roots, not philosophy, cultural roots. Look at, we have examples. Ravi Shankar, you have Vilayat Khan, you have examples of Zakir Hussain, you have they were global citizens. Everybody wants to be a global citizen. Huh? But now they were no less global citizens, or they are still living, some of them, no less global citizens, yet they are rooted in they haven't forgotten their basic cultural values and roots and foundations. So classical art can give you everything, but it depends on you. And the same thing goes for any form of vocation you choose. If you just want to swim on the surface, then you'll just be like a bubble. वो आपकी हस्ती जो है बुलबुले की तरह हो जाए. वो मीर की एक है ना कि हस्ती अपनी हबाब की सी है. मतलब वो कहते हैं ऐसे मत करो कि बुलबुले की तरह कि वो अभी है कल चला जाए. तो हस्ती अपनी हवा ये नुमाइश सा, क्योंकि ये नुमाइश है, वो तो शराब है. It's a mirage. So let there be more depth and content in your life and in your work and in your personality. So classical art, if done well as a profession with a proper focus, can give you all what you aspire, but it takes a long time. Number one. Number two, it gives you, more importantly, it gives you a beautiful inner peace and harmony.
Thanks a lot for your guidance, ma'am.
Kamakshi, may I interfere? I'm sorry. We have General Balwinder Singh with us. He's been raising his hand. So, General Singh, do you want to say something, please?
Yes. Firstly, congratulations, Shobna.
Hi, Balwinder. How are you? Great to see you.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. And today, when I came to know about your program, I said, definitely, I am going to be present in that.
It's so great. I mean, lovely, as we haven't met for such a long time.
Shobna ji, I knew that he will, take this opportunity. So in the morning, I gave this contact.
We are all NDC colleagues.
And it was so nice. I have been listening to you, and it is absolutely honor to be present. What you have told everyone, the younger generation. And I think our responsibility is to prepare our younger generation now for the future. And that is what you are doing presently.
Thank you. Thank you.
So nice, so nice.
Thank you for being with us, Chelsea.
And
when you can go on.
And when you are going to be back to
it
Delhi?
Depends. Now I hope so, end of May, but if I hope Lufthansa takes me. That's what I was telling them in the beginning. I hope they take Indian nationals also back and not only German nationals.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kamakshi, please go on.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are really grateful for such a wonderful session. And now I would like to invite Ms. Kunda Mahurkar ji. She is the National Chairperson of SPIC MACAY to enlighten the audience with a few words. Thank you.
Namaskar, everybody. Shobna ji, thank you so much for giving us the pleasure of your Kathak performance on the World Dance Day. It's a real great pleasure. And I'm so happy that today on the World Dance Day, so many young children, there are so many are connected today. I was not getting the place to enter. So many are connected today. I'm a great fan of yours. I don't miss your programs. And the way you explain the philosophy, each and every aspect of dance is so amazing. And I'm so appreciate the way you connect with the children. That is most important thing in SPIC MACAY. So you connect so beautifully with them. And actually, I must say, you take them to that alpha zone. The way you perform they really get the real experience they get, and that is the way we want in SPIC MACAY, that our youth, our children should be able to connect themselves to inner self. So thank you so much for giving us these opportunities. Every time you are always, whenever we call you, you are always there for SPIC MACAY. That is the great part in you.
Thank
And
you,
the
Mrs.
way you
Bhagat.
connect, the way you explain physics, maths, how it is connected with the music. And it is the dance and all the music has come from nature. That's why you find it all over the world, the same. The tal is same, like rhythm is same. So the way, that is how the whole world is one. It's not different. We are all same, only according to the nature, circumstances, little changes are there. But the way you explained it so beautifully, it was really amazing. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, and your graceful movements, your mudras, and the bhav, and the storytelling. I was spellbound, absolutely. I enjoyed your performance. And thank you so much for giving us the time today. And you are always, we want Shobnaji everywhere in SPIC MACAY. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, I would also like to thank our chief guest, uh,
Dr. Chawla.
Sushma Chawla ji. Sushma Chawla ji. Thank you, Sushma ji, for accepting our invitation today. It was so great, so
I'm
nice
one
of you. Yeah.
I'm not a special guest. I'm one of you.
May I add my bit? She's not only a very, very wonderful doctor, I'm told, but what a graceful person she is, and what a amazingly full of life and grace. My God, thank you, wonderful.
I felt like dancing with you. You know, it was so beautiful, so inspiring, so good.
I'd love to meet you in person one day.
Yes, I was going to say that next time you are here in Jalandhar, we'll make sure that Dr. Chawla, stands and dances with you.
And also, Dr. Atima Sharma Dwivedi dances with me.
Yeah, I thank her also.
That will be like the cornerstone of my performing arts.
You should accept us as a student even now, provided you accept student of my age. Are you ready for that?
She will be always. You are still young, not old.
No, I'm always young. Young in heart.
You may please allow me to say that, the Department of Performing Arts of Kanya Mahavidyalaya, we haven't yet, introduced all of them, but under the leadership of Dr. Poonam Sharma, I think all of them, along with Dr. Madhumeet and Mr. Pradeep and all the people and our students, Kamakshi, Yukta, and so many other people who have contributed towards this program. And of course, we should not forget the big link of Mrs. Anuradha Sondhi. So we are grateful to all of them.
I was about to thank her. Thank you and Anuradha both.
We are grateful to you as a SPIC MACAY, president, to have organized this, to facilitate this wonderful event.
Great pleasure, and the way in a large scale you organized it. So many students are connected today. That is something great. It is very difficult these days to connect them online. Okay, and I find it, I mean, the Chandigarh chapter has really done a wonderful job. Thank you so much, madam. And also Anuradha Sondhi, she's a chairperson of the, I think, Chandigarh chapter. I thank her for organizing and taking so much trouble to organize this program. Thank you all. Special thank you, Shobna ji, again.
Thank you. And I would like to thank these two young ones, Kamakshi and the other girl.
Yes.
They were keeping the show running,
And Shobna ji, the video that you saw on you, that was made by our students, Kamakshi, she did the main job. So they are very talented. And, I was very inspired myself with the video that she did on you.
Send me a copy. Can you send me a copy?
Sure, we'll be very honored. We'll be very, very honored,
I am honored.
So grateful.
Yes, as a team, we are, the whole fraternity of Kanya Mahavidyalaya is grateful to SPIC MACAY. And of course, as I said, this very elevating experience and a very, very knowledgeable experience for our students as well, connecting them with our culture. These are the things which, you don't get in the classrooms. So Shobna ji, this was like so
Amazing.
valuable that I have no words for it, in fact.
No words.
For me personally as well. So grateful to you, and salute to your art, salute to your sadhana. And as I was just thinking, you are a complete woman, and not only the art, but you are an excellent role model for the young students, Because
she's a secretary in Government of India.
Yes, I was going to say that I was
amazing, like keeping this and that, both the professions, and I mean that to
I
be
was
the
amazed to
highest.
hear that you've been an administrator as well. And while doing that demanding job, you have developed the art and, this whole excellence in this art. So this is I would say that you're the perfect role model for us.
Role model for students. That is
while pursuing their academic careers and their goals in life, they can also develop as somebody special, with whatever they desire to do.
This is something very, very special of Shobna.
Timaji, every day I have a webinar, and when I was having an academic webinar, my dancing screen is on, and she looks different today, but I've seen her so many dancing. So I thought she's the same lady coming from the office and then going for the dancing. So beautiful. Every day I see your dance. It's not only today, but previously also.
This is an incarnation of a complete woman, with the beauties of this world and that world as well, because you are helping and you are yourself connecting so beautifully through your art to the ultimate, power. So I think from today onwards, मेरा जो गलियों वाला भगवान कृष्ण का जो आपने वो दिया है पूरा, वो तो ऐसे भी करो तो भगवान की गलियां हैं. How beautiful.
वो वृंदावन है, ये वृंदावन है और ये गलियां हैं.
I was always looking at my work as my prayer, and I really do it that way, but I never did this कि काजल भी डालो तो वो भगवान की गलियां हैं.
क्योंकि वो वृंदावन है भाई, उसमें
बहुत बढ़िया.
बहुत अच्छा. Shobna ji, I look forward to meet you personally sometime. This has been so elevating for me. All of us, in fact. And we wish you a wonderful stay with your family. And of course, the most, I would say that happy return to your own country. And hopefully in better times we meet again. And once again, before we part, I want to thank SPIC MACAY and all of you for being here, Dr. Chavla. And she's always like our strength and our inspiration, just as you've been, Shobna ji, today. And forever we are going to remember your words as we go through our daily routines. You have connected everything, that whole soulful experience, to the mundane, what we think is mundane, but it's nothing is mundane in life.
We'll be waiting for you.
Yes.
I'd like to see you in person.
Yes.
Where are you, Shobna ji? You are not in India?
No, I'm in Vienna. I came here in March to meet the family, and now I'm here.
Then you stuck there.
Because of all the travel restrictions.
Shobna ji, I'm sure you must be enjoying Vienna so much. It's your city. I mean, since your family is there, it's the cultural capital of the world, and I mean the museums and all that. It's another world,
I know. I was
living there.
When I was talking 38 degrees in Delhi, and here I'm looking out. It was snowing a few days ago.
Yes.
Today is sunny, but otherwise.
Yes.
See, I'm in Dehradun, Antara, Shobna ji, and very close to Delhi, but it's very, very pleasant here. Very cool and very pleasant here, actually.
So a word from the doctors: stay healthy, stay safe, do yoga, do dancing, and stay
Dancing
fit.
is yoga only.
And
Dance
stay
is yoga.
fit.
And today, go back and dance if you can. It's the World Dance Day. So, full inspirational, talk we've had. So, thank you once again, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a very healthy prayer to the Almighty for
Stay safe.
showering benedictions. और कहते हैं भगवान मेहर बरसाए और सारे दुख दर्द दूर हो जाएं humanity के. इस prayer के साथ, thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are obliged to have your presence amongst us. It has been a wonderful day and an even wonderful session. I am really grateful to Shobna ji, Dr. Sushma Chawla, Anuradha ji, Kunda Mahurkar ji, Principal ma'am, whole SPIC MACAY team, faculty members, students, and our vibrant participants for making this a successful event. We are really grateful to our alma mater and our principal ma'am, Professor Dr. Atima Sharma Dwivedi, for providing us with
Today,
such a
all the
marvelous
gratefulness
opportunity.
is to Shobna ji. Everything is for Shobna.
You're a torch bearer, ma'am, and we always are inspired to follow your footsteps. And with your encouragement and blessings, we strive to prosper in our future and make you, our institution, and our teachers proud. And with this, I bid adieu and look forward to meet you all at more such enlightening events in the near future. Thank you.
A happy International Dance
Thank
Day
you.
again.
God bless
Same to
everyone.
you, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.